YouTube. Today we're going to be discussing how to program if you are the type of person who is high change. You have a tendency to change, to change a lot of things in your life. I personally call that high change personality type. It's not really a thing. I don't think it's been named that, but I think it expresses what I want to express nicely. So the issue that these type of people are gonna have is that bodybuilding and getting better at anything remotely physical takes consistency, and it takes the ability to repeat the same thing over and over again. And that aspect, that repetitive aspect, can be mitigated a little bit, but it's always going to be there because there is only so many exercises you can do. That is, if you stick to it for a long time. If you only do that for a year or two, yeah, you can keep rotating exercises forever. But if you spend 10 years lifting, eventually certain exercises are going to become redundant. Now, I want to say that I'm not super comfortable making this video because I am the exact opposite. I have a very sedentary personality type. I am extremely diligent. I don't mind doing the same thing 1,000 times. If you send me outside to rake the leaves, I'll still be there in 3 hours as long as there are leaves. I'm more like a monk, so I have a tougher understanding of these people. So if you are like that, in the comments, please let everyone know in the community so we can share and exchange, because you actually have the experience that I don't. So for these people, what I would say is, the number one thing they're going to be doing is they're going to do some program hopping, meaning they're going to jump from a program to another too quickly. And a lot of people speak against that, and they think that staying too long on a program is the problem. I personally don't see it like this for non-novices. For novices, yes, you shouldn't spend too long on a program, just for the simple virtue of what being a novice is. You shouldn't be a novice for more than 4 or 6 months. You should graduate out of that stage very quickly. So novices and early intermediate should not be too attached to their program. But for the rest, I mean, for me, I stay 2 to 3 years on the same program. I think if it's done properly, you don't have to change it. Yes, there are certain internal change of the program, but the main mechanism and the bulk of it doesn't change. But that is coming from someone who's sedentary, so it's not going to apply to you if you like change, if you're a high change personality type. So if you are, how to play around your tendency to like change and to want new exciting things? Well, what you can do is you can rotate lifts. Now I'm going to make videos about rotating lifts in the hypertrophy series. I'm going to explain what I like and dislike about it. I think there's a lot of issues about it, and I sort of sense this it's already installed, but in my opinion it's going to become bigger and bigger on the scene because people are really going to like it. People nowadays have shorter attention span. That's not a critique, it's just what I've noticed. So they like changing the lifts all the time. They like something new and fresh, and therefore it's becoming more permanent. But the issue is that those people don't understand that they're making mistakes when they do it. So for me, the main thing you shouldn't do is give into your nature as someone who's very instinctual and likes to change all the time and just pick random lifts. You should create a routine beforehand that you know exactly what you're going to be doing, but you have enough routines that you can switch between them. That is still going to satisfy your need for change without just being a complete mess. Because I see those people too many times, or they'll just walk into the gym and decide what to work on that day. In my opinion, that doesn't work. Because unless you are a perfect being, completely in line with what your body needs, you're going to have a tendency to work certain muscles that you like working, meaning that you're going to transform strong points into even stronger points. Meanwhile, your weak points are becoming weaker and weaker because you never work them. You're going to just do your favorite lifts. You might not optimize the way you hit your muscles because you won't really remember what you've been hitting last week or the next day. So it's not something you should do. So write it down have enough options to keep it fresh, but have it perfectly marked so that the rotations are always going to be beneficial. Another thing you can do is you don't necessarily have to change the lift to make it feel more exciting. You can just change the equipment. So for example, if you have that type of equipment laying around, you can switch your floor press to some thick bar floor press, or you can change your deadlift to a different variation of the deadlift. All of these are also going to mean you're going to have to pay attention to the volume, the weight, the intensity, etc. This is, in my opinion, going to be a disadvantage that high change personality types have that people like me don't have. Because I don't have to recalculate things all the time because I do the same thing all the time. I do what is in my program. I have certain ways to auto-regulate the training, and I do also have rotations in the training, but they are well defined. So if you're more of a free spirit, it's going to involve also more front-hand work to make sure that you can fully express your personality once you're in the gym and when you train. And in my opinion, this is very important. Nothing is going to make someone who likes change more miserable than forcing them on a program that they have to respect. In my opinion, spirit is just as important as body for natural bodybuilding. And if your spirit withers, if it weakens, then I don't see how your gains are going to hold up. It's just going to become worse and worse. You're going to become unmotivated. Another thing for people who really like change might also be a complete change of scenery. So being able to work out somewhere else. And there's a very easy way to do that is you can also program calisthenics day in your training regimen. Instead of having to go to an actual gym, if you have parks around you or if you have some space around that you know you can do calisthenics there, you can program a day where you would be resting or doing some low impact stuff and do calisthenics instead. It's a good way to keep you entertained and to keep your love for training fresh, because it is very important to make sure that we always cultivate that love for the iron, because that's what keeps you going. I am sort of a cyborg in that way where I'm really diligent, but I also love what I'm doing. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it. And I think that the idea that it should be a grind and it should be tough and sometimes we should hate it, I disagree with that 100%. Not every day is going to be great, but we should work to make every day pleasurable for us so that we keep going and we never fall into the most glaring trap of this exercise and bodybuilding, powerlifting, whatever you want to do, of turning it into a job. Once it turns into a chore or something that I don't feel like doing, I know that for me it would sign the end of my bodybuilding journey. And I think that it might be the same for you. So that's it for this video on high change personality types. If you are that type of person, let me know in the comments how you do your thing, because someone who's new on the channel might benefit from that. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.